It's a bright morning in New York City, and the streets are alive with traffic and pedestrians bustling about. Morgan Freeman, dressed casually in a light jacket and comfortable pants, drives an old blue sedan that contrasts with his calm confidence. He has just left a meeting with the New York Empowerment Alliance, where the group discussed ways to raise awareness about social injustice. As he drives, he reflects on the meeting's key points, determined to use his influence for a greater cause. The radio plays softly in the background, but his mind is focused on how he can make a difference. Little does he know, his day is about to take an unexpected turn that will test both his patience and his resolve. Suddenly, Morgan notices flashing red and blue lights in his rearview mirror, signaling him to pull over. Confusion crosses his face as he glances at the speedometer, confirming he isn't speeding. Nonetheless, he carefully steers his old sedan to the side of the road, wondering what the issue might be. Officer Blake Jenkins, tall and stern-faced, steps out of the patrol car with a certain arrogance in his posture. Morgan rolls down. Officer Jenkins demands Morgan's license and registration in an abrupt tone, as though he's already concluded Morgan is at fault. Morgan, ever polite, hands over the documents while calmly explaining that he believes he was following the speed limit. Jenkins narrows his eyes, scanning the papers like he's searching for an excuse to escalate the situation. Despite his global fame, Morgan senses that the officer either doesn't recognize him or simply doesn't care. The officer's manner grows increasingly confrontational, and the tension intensifies with every passing moment. Morgan can feel his heart rate spike, yet he remains composed, determined to stand up for his rights. Without warning, Officer Jenkins yanks the car door open and insists Morgan step out immediately. Surprised but resolute, Morgan refuses to exit until he understands why he's being pulled over in the first place. The officer, angered by Morgan's calm defiance, forcibly drags him out of the vehicle. Nearby pedestrians, taken aback by the rough treatment, begin recording the incident on their phones. A courageous woman named Jasmine steps forward, telling the officer that he can't manhandle people without a valid reason. Her unwavering voice resonates with the growing crowd, who become more vocal in protesting Jenkins's aggressive behavior. Amid the commotion, a poised figure navigates through the crowd, Agent Evelyn Grant from the FBI. She quickly assesses the situation and demands an explanation from Officer Jenkins, who suddenly appears uneasy under her scrutiny. Morgan Freeman, still catching his breath from the forceful encounter, reveals that he, too, is an FBI agent assigned to a special operation. Gasps ripple through the onlookers, who realize this confrontation is far more significant than they initially thought. Jenkins struggles to justify his actions, stumbling over his words as Agent Grant maintains a steely gaze. The dynamic changes instantly, placing the officer under a far higher level of accountability. Later that afternoon, Morgan and Agent Grant arrive at a bustling police precinct teeming with activity. Lieutenant Jonah Morris, known for his fairness and level-headedness, greets them, clearly astonished to see an FBI agent and the famous Morgan Freeman lodging a complaint. Morgan recounts the entire confrontation in detail, while Agent Grant provides supporting context. Papers pile up on the desk as Lieutenant Morris takes statements with a serious yet sympathetic demeanor. There's a palpable sense of purpose in the room, as everyone understands the gravity of holding an officer accountable. By the end of the process, Morgan feels a renewed sense of responsibility, vowing to ensure that no one else suffers such treatment. In the days that follow, news of the incident spreads like wildfire across social media and major news networks. Journalists swarm around Morgan Freeman's home, eager to capture his perspective on police misconduct. While he has never been one to seek the limelight, he recognizes the importance of speaking out to spark real change. He discovers a grassroots group called Citizens for Justice, which is planning a large rally to demand accountability and reform. Encouraged by Agent Grant and close friends, Morgan decides to attend and share his story on a public stage. With every passing hour, his resolve deepens, fortified by countless messages from individuals who have faced similar injustices. On the day of the rally, Morgan Freeman stands on a makeshift stage in a bustling public square, facing a diverse crowd wielding signs such as Justice for All and We Stand Together. Camera flashes light up his thoughtful face as he steps up to the microphone, exuding both humility and determination. He begins by recounting his recent ordeal with Officer Jenkins, illustrating how quickly the situation escalated and emphasizing the importance of composure. The crowd bursts into applause, moved by his bold decision to speak out so candidly against injustice. Morgan concludes his speech by reminding everyone that true change demands unity, empathy, and consistent accountability in every institution. As the rally winds down, the atmosphere brims with renewed hope, leaving Morgan confident that this moment will spark a lasting transformation.